Hey guys, I'm going to show off one more demo here, and this one is really kind of showing off the power of the sandbox. So as some of you might know, we have a sort of isolated sandbox that is one of the tools that is available to chat actions. So in that sandbox, it can run arbitrary bash commands or run code. It can kind of do anything that it could do in a virtual machine. So I want to kind of just demonstrate what this is capable of. So in this case, we are telling it to clone a GitHub repo. I've given it some specific instructions here that we're demonstrating some of the power of the sandbox. Make sure to use absolute paths. Start by checking your present working directory. Sometimes it can get confused because it's not actually running in a terminal, and each time it invokes this tool, it's starting kind of back into the same root workspace, but the state is persistent across that. So let's go through it. And this was a pretty interesting one. It actually took it many steps to get it done, but it was able to get there. So first one, let's see, the very first thing it did was it cloned the GitHub repo as expected. So that's what it's doing here. Then it CD'd into the GitHub repo, and that one's kind of uneventful. Then it tries to read this file. It turns out there's actually not a file named that in that repo. So it tries a few actually different things here, not getting the results that it wants. So then eventually it says, all right, let me try to actually list it. So there's a ls-l. That's where it actually found that there's actually different files in there. And that's how I was able to actually determine that the README is actually a .rst file instead. So now it was able to read that file, actually able to get the results of that, but it realized that it's just getting it into this buffer format, which it didn't really like. For some reason, it decided to try the exact same thing again and got the same results. So then it thought, maybe I'll try a different way, and I'll use cat, which actually did work. And then it was actually able to get the contents in textual form, and that's how I was able to use it. Then it says, okay, great, now I understand that. Now let me write the file. So created the demo Python file that's leveraging this repo that we had just cloned. And this is the contents of, it's a very short script that it needs to incorporate there. And then it goes ahead and writes that. So it wrote that, no problem. Then it tries to run that. And it says that it can't open it. So it probably forgot where it was. So then it says, let's CD into the right spot. Let's see how that goes. Can't open the file. Still having trouble executing the script. So then it tried giving it the full path. It went and tried to write this file again. So there it went and wrote the file. Tried running the file again. This time it got a stack trace error, and it read this. It says, okay, I've encountered an error. Might not be working as expected. So then it went and listed out the folder, the stat jokes, and then looked in a few other places in the few other files, and then eventually read this dad jokes py file, and that's what got the contents from that file here. And that's where it kind of came to the conclusion. It says that the README appears to be misleading. After inspecting the source code, I've determined that the correct way to call the library, I'll now create a new demo script. So it goes back and updates its script with the correct code this time. Once again, it tries to run that, has another error. And then it seems like there's another error. It's structured in how I'm trying to import them modules. Try to fix this by adjusting the input statements. So once again, tries writing the file again, and then tries to CD and execute the file. Hits another error, had trouble provided library, so finds yet another error. Then it tries one more time with some new approaches in how it's writing the file, and then tries executing that file one last time. And finally, it gets the answer at once. It sees that in the standard out and says success, and says, here's the joke. It's a hilarious joke. I've got this disease where I can't stop making airport puns. The doctor says it's terminal. Hilarious.